Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. Like to see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2019, episode 43. Slight favorites against Clemson. Kansas, struggling in the league, are actually heavy favorites, so apparently their struggles are just form. But Rico Cruz has not met the minimum test score to qualify to play college basketball. He has not met the minimum score we require at our school. Oh, he did meet the minimum for college basketball, but not for our school. So he has had his scholarship revoked. We're down to one recruit out of 7 spots. Saw that coming. I'm actually glad that Morrison qualified because there was some concern over him. But this is going to open things up a lot for us. But before we get into that recruiting, let's go ahead and get into the next game in the season. We are halfway through the conference schedule. We are 4-4, 14-6 overall on the year. We are playing in Conference B, where everything is super, super competitive. There is so much attrition as teams knock one another off. The best record in conference right now is 5-3. Virginia has moved up with us each of the last couple of years, and they've been one of those top 10 teams in the nation both the last 2 years. This year, though, bit of a down year for them. 9-10 overall, 3-5 in conference. Still a good team, though. They're definitely still a good team. And they're actually still not even that young. They've got a sophomore, 2 juniors, and 2 seniors starting. We're going to try to fly through this game, not affect it much. We'll just keep an eye on how things go and talk about the game plan for this episode while that goes on. Meanwhile, this game off to a slow start with just 2 field goals apiece through the first couple minutes of the game. Virginia then gets a 3 and a 2 to open up a 5-point lead here 4 minutes in. We've only managed 2 rebounds so far to their 6. We've also had 2 turnovers, so a really slow start to the game for us. We haven't had any trips to the free throw line. 2 for 8 from the field, over 3 beyond the arc. I'm actually going to use my timeout now. My 30-second. I usually use just 1 30-second in the first half unless I really, really need to. But we have had a terrible, terrible start to this game. Both of our field goals were in the first minute and a half. We haven't scored in the last 8 minutes. And we've trailed 19-4. Finally, we get 1 more point from the free throw line. And apparently that's all it took because we scored another field goal. Can we get another? Yes. Okay, we're back. Maybe. We have a little bit of momentum. Kickball. Oh, free throws. Free throws. Okay. Trading. Alright, we're coming back at them. Only 5-point deficit now. Fouls, horribly lopsided. But we're starting to come along. We've only had 15 field goal attempts to their 25. Massive deficit there. Minus 12 on rebounds. But playing a little bit better here. Individually, Jonas Cougar, 6 points on 3 of 5 shooting. Kirkland also has 6 points, but he has 3 fouls already. He's got 2 rebounds, 2 blocks in the game. But yeah, 3 fouls. That is painful. It is very painful this early in the game. 3 other guys with 2 fouls themselves. And meanwhile, Virginia has still only been called for 3 fouls for the entire game. So, screw you, refs. Maybe I need to bark the refs a little bit in this one, the way this is going. His fouls were 9-4 in the first half. Deficit only 5 points at the half. So it easily could have been far, far worse than it was. Or it could have been far better than it was. Maybe a little help from the referees. Because shooting-wise, we're 13 of 28. They're 13 of 33. So we're doing better than they are. But we've got that minus 11 on the rebounds. And then the huge discrepancy in fouls. We opened the half with a few misses. A little bit of a struggle there. A lot of whistles, and we never could get anything going. But none of them, they're not fouls that they're getting called for. Just dead ball situations. Whew. 2 quick dunks there in transition. One was full-blown fast break. The other one, I think, was just a good transition bucket. But both finishes were at the rim, and it helped get us back into the game. We only trailed by 3 at this point, despite some really nasty things in the stat line. The -10 on rebounds. The now it's down to -6 on field goal attempts. The -9 on free throw attempts. The huge foul discrepancy first half and second half. So it's amazing we're in this game at all, and we're on the road. And now, with 6 minutes to play, it's a 1-possession game, and we've got the lead. Our first since the first minute of the game. We trail again, but we're back in this thing. Two minutes, 3 points. We use a timeout here, call a play. We got the open look for 3 and missed it. But the next possession, we were able to get it back. 1 point game, 1 minute to play. We've got the lead. Could it be 30? Oh, 30 seconds. Timeout. 28 seconds. We could run the clock. We don't. We give them the last possession here. It's a tie game, 70-70. They miss the shot. Offensive rebound. Oh, and the 3-pointer to win the game at the buzzer. Are you kidding me? Such a good job coming back, and really wasted. We could have run the clock down, going for the win, at least taken it late into the clock, but instead we give them 20 seconds to work with, and they get, 2-3 chances with that, and get the buzzer beater to win the game. Davies had 17 points. Cougar had 12. It was a nice comeback, and really discouraged by the performance by the referees. They were only calling us. I mean, it was a massive discrepancy in the first half. Second half was a little bit closer, and we came out and controlled the second half. That could have, it feels like it should have been a win. But it's not. We lose. Dropped to 4-5. Memphis next. It's a really good Memphis team. 15-5. Number 20 in the nation. Go forward another day here. But it's time to go back to the drawing board. Which I already did kind of the basic sketch. Made an outline for going forward recruiting-wise. But I really needed those SAT scores. And finally, they have come through. So we're going to see where we're at and break it down. Al Morrison has qualified, so we will be getting the number 28 recruit in the nation in Al Morrison. That's a good grab. Again, we still don't have the prestige. Even though we're in Conference B, we still don't have the prestige to be pulling in the top recruits. So anybody top 50 is a good grab for us. Especially getting, somebody as high as Morrison is. But let's get into it. First off, hold on. Let's go school info real quick. With an academics of an A-, the minimum SAT score is a 980. 980. And facilities have also risen. Our original facilities were a D, so we've done a lot of work going back. What are we on? 30 seasons now, if you're counting the old 2017 series. So it's taken us 30 years to get from a D to an A-, and the academics went from a B+ to an A- when we transitioned to the new game, putting even more of an emphasis on that. But yeah, there you go. So conference prestige now solidly at an 81, being in Conference B. The team prestige still below 50. I mean, we're still only at a 48. So that has a lot of room for improvement still. A lot. We really should start pushing 60, 70, hopefully within the next few seasons. And hopefully we can at least stay Conference B for a while. I don't think we're anywhere near Conference A yet. I mean, this is just about the best roster we've had. And we're middle of the road in the conference. But 980 is the mark. That's what we came for. So 980, 980. Let's look through and see what we've got and what we've lost. So Morrison qualifies easy with a 1080. So he's fine. We got him. But there you go. Rico Cruz, just an 850, so he wasn't even close. 130 points shy. I'll go ahead and remove him from the list. And we're going to see anybody else who needs to be dropped. All of these guys qualifying. McMaster just qualifying. Jones does not. Rivera just qualifying. Okay. Oh, dang it. Two of these three do not qualify, including the one we were really looking at, Molinari. Isn't going to make it. So we need to retract that one. So really we lost 2 out of 3, because even though Molinari had not signed, we've been number 1 on his list for quite a while. And it was clear that he would sign at some point. And it's not going to happen now. He is out as well. And also, I think recruit-wise, we're just kind of done with the internationals. Most likely. Let's see. I do not need a point guard, so I can at least remove that from the list. And we'll hide those guys. See international. What's left? Yeah, Molinari is the best player, but he does not qualify, so. Oh, we still have a few high recruits here internationally. So why don't we take a look. These guys are going to be much more lightly recruited. Okay, just guys in the top 200. So just a few more. Blandell does not qualify either. Let's get him off the list. There we go. And we'll take a look at the other guys. You will watch film. I'll go ahead and call players starting with these international guys. Yeah, location definitely shouldn't matter for them. Facility is good, so Faust is somebody we could potentially recruit. Of course, I don't know what their GPA is until we really get a look at them next week. It's all the call time. Alright, so that's 5 new guys to take a look at. Blotch, not really good enough. Push back over to the national side of things. Any A's? Oh, and there's still a couple guys here too. So we'll watch film on them. And then we'll take stock in a week and kind of see where we're at. Alright, so next up, Memphis. Boy, losing 2 out of 3, that really hurts. I knew I was going to lose at least one of them, so it wasn't like I was surprised. And at the same time, I am relieved that Morrison at least qualified, because there was a chance I was going to lose all 3, and there was a better chance of losing all 3 than there was of getting all 3, for sure. It would have been nice to get 2 out of 3. But since that didn't happen, we move on. We deal. We still have 1 good player, and there's still some good players out there. It's just going to be hard to get 4 more guys and 4 more top-ranked guys. Memphis here at home. This is going to be another tough home game, but we do manage to win this one. So we are just 1 loss at home so far this season. 96-73 final. We led most of the way. Cougar had a huge game. The freshman power forward, 19 points, 6 rebounds for him. I'm hoping Morrison can be putting up those kind of numbers a year from now. Russell, 20 points also. 7 assists. Nobody fouled out. Davies had 4. That was the most on the team. 4 steals for Emory in the game. And quite a few as a team. 11. I mean, that's not a huge number. That's a decent number. Compared to fouls, compared to turnovers, yeah. We had more steals than we had turnovers in the game. We had as many blocks as we had turnovers in the game. We nearly had as many of those as we had fouls in the game. Assists could have been a little higher. Free throw percentage, nice. 19 out of 20, 95% from the field. We were efficient. So 5-5 now. We're kind of holding right at 500. I had slim hopes of going 11-5 in conference. It's clear that that's not going to happen. That was one of those, the 1% chance was go 11-5. I kind of figured, though, at worst we'd be 500, and right now we're kind of at that. So we'll see. We've still played more away games than home games, though. So we still have a chance here down the stretch with no. We had back home right there. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, never mind. We are back on level terms on the home and away, and 5-5. I believe we've only managed now. We're 4-1 at home in conference, and 1-4 on the road, 1-6 on the season. So we've made that list of teams that are really struggling to win away from home. And as high as our RPI is in 44, that is pretty low compared to the rest of the conference. Georgia Tech pulling away a little bit at the front. 7-3 now. And two teams struggling. Notre Dame, Kansas. Kansas is who we play next. Can we finally get our second road victory of the year? Still a couple days before we get to that game. And I think we'll have the turn of the week here. Yeah, there you go. So we've got some recruiting to do before we get to that Kansas game. Looks like Kansas have won their last two. Their 9-10 is now 11-10. Arizona State coming up for a second time. Notre Dame, who we have not played yet, we are favored against them. And Arizona State, we should be favored against them. Yes, we are. No A's left. They are all committed or ineligible. So we're down to B's, and that does suck. I would have hoped to have had at least 2 quality players in this recruiting class. Really, I was looking for about 3 or 4 quality players to instantly step up and be the guy. That's not the case, and that's why we're definitely not going to give away all 7 scholarships. Now, I actually have an offer in here for Brown. So we may want to reconsider. Let me see what I have position by position here. Herrera. It's good overall. Pretty good on the ball. Pretty good defender. Not a bad player at all. We can watch additional film on him, but I am not looking for another point guard. I've got one in Morrison coming, and he's pretty good. So, why don't I go back to international for a second? Yeah, I haven't selected anything. I know. There we go. Right away, we have interest from 2 of these guys. Low GPAs. One guy not qualifying, the others all do. Okay, there we go. So I'll take him off the list. So it's Radnicek from the Czech Republic. Let's see. He is a B overall. Pretty questionable in so many areas, though. Decent scorer, decent individual defender, but otherwise pretty lacking. Kind of the same thing with Faust here. Michael Johnson. Terrible defender. That's not really someone I want to bring in. I take him off the list. Blotch is only a C. And I have a scholarship offer in with you? No, let's take that away. Let's take that away. That's where one of those went. Decent scorer. Poor ball handler, though. He's not going to grab you like any rebounds. Decent individual defender. Maybe. Down to 3 guys. Oh, Faust is only a C overall. Yeah, see. Lennox does have those couple A's and is a good defender. Really low GPA, but I'm wondering if that's just the international standards are a lot higher than the US, which is true. Barnes. I think Barnes is somebody we can and should go after. The only JC transfer. And he's got some quality. Not great at everything, but gosh, it's something. And we're number 1 on his list. I'm going to go ahead and put an offer in for the Oklahoman. He was number 106. So he slipped a little bit, but he's up there. So that's kind of the one extra, just because it's literally the only JC guy, and I wanted to get one at least in the mix, just to offset where we're at recruiting-wise. I don't want to recruit 7 high school seniors and have this problem all over again. And especially when you can only redshirt 2 players, then I'd have 5 guys in the same class. And that's... So Barnes, regardless, we're going for him. And that's 2 power forwards right now that we do have locked down. Looking at shooting guard only. Walker's been on the list for a while. All the guys are a B. A couple decent defenders. None of them are great scorers. Best ball handler, Taylor, if you include handling and passing. He's got a good outside shot. Defense is... Alright, what I'm going to do here is I suppose we're going to work just on the shooting guards this week. And we're going to call these guys and see... what we could do. Academics, I like that. And he had a good GPA. Location is all you care about, and you're from New Jersey. And you barely qualify. But you're one of those good defenders. And you're a good passer. You're just really bad ball handler. We'll see about facilities, because if he doesn't like facilities, we're done. Location, academics, so at least academics, right? Something we can pitch. Let's film again on each of these guys. And there's a week. Kansas up next. Could be favorites, but it's going to be tight. It's the most winnable road game in a while, but that doesn't mean much. I was hoping for 3 road wins this season, or at least 2, and we've only managed 1, and we stay at 1. Close game, 5 points. Not gonna look at the box score on that one. Let's just move on. We've got Clemson now. Tougher team on the road. At least better record team on the road. Another chance to steal one. And we really do. We have to steal at least one more road game, I feel. We've had one loss at home. We've had one win on the road here in the conference play. I think we need at least two. Oh, come on. Can we get it? I'm actually feeling more confident about this one than I was about the last, even though the records. Kansas, good team, just having bad form. Clemson, not quite at that level. More beatable, but we can't beat them. And we lose again by 7. Close games. Horseshoes are nice because you can get close and win. But in basketball, loss is a loss. And we lost both of those road games. Next up will be Notre Dame. They've got a good record at 17-8. They are seen as one of the weaker teams in the conference. And playing at home, hopefully we'll be able to bounce back and get a win. We've got 4 games left now in the regular season. 3 of them are at home, and it will require 3 wins just to go 500. And will 18-10 be enough as our RPI plummets a bit after losing both games that week? Will 18-10 be enough to get into the NCAA tournament? Well, I think it's going to require something in our conference tournament. Not a deep run, but maybe, semifinal or something. Just getting past the first round anyway. Getting that 19th win. I don't think we'll have to win 20. And maybe 18 is enough. Excuse me. Okay, so we have a couple guys dropping down to C's after getting another look at them. And that's definitely a reason to drop those guys. Okay, McMaster, location, yeah, kind of. Ball handling's not great. He's going to have some turnovers. But beyond that, it's a pretty good player who barely qualifies to go to our school and very well could struggle academically. Zimmerman, okay, not particularly good at pretty much anything, but won't have troubles academically. Taylor, meanwhile, not a good player. He's out. Walker, already starting to fall for us. He likes us. Location, Oakland, okay. Not qualifying by much, could have some struggles, but mediocre. So not wanting to jump and recruit here again. Not good. Not good. We're going to let this one go. Okay, now let's see the one we're looking at. Well, the two we're looking at. McMaster. McMaster is really the one I'm looking at. Strong passing. Good defense. Actually looks worse than Zimmerman in quite a few respects, but in a lot of ways, actually. Lennox, better scorer. Not good on the ball. Better defender. Not good on rebounds. Really low GPA, but a high SAT score. Watch film and scout both of these guys live. See where we're at in a week. And let's just call that the week, recruiting wise. Alright, Notre Dame. Don't you dare lose this one. For one, we need the bounce back. But I think you've all heard at some point, that's the one school I don't care for. Whew. Okay. 90-54. We needed that one. Last road game of the regular season at Arizona State. We beat them at home earlier on. But at 13-13, we're just 1-7 on the road this year. 1-8 on the road this year, something like that. 1-8. Can we make it number 2? Doesn't seem particularly likely. Hasn't looked good for us. Even when we've been favored on the road, we keep losing. So I'm not feeling too confident here. But we need this one to get back to 500. Nope, can't do it. We just cannot win on the road. And the entire tournament is essentially on the road. So 78-69. We dropped that one. Now we have to win the last 2 games to go 500. And to get to that 18. Stanford's up next. They're just 14-11, so certainly doable. We've got a slightly better record than they do. And we're at home. I think we lost to the Cardinal on the road early on. Oh, that was our one road win. Our only road win. It was Stanford. Okay. Well. Can we make it win number 2? So, just 2 games left to play, and actually, there's still potentially a danger of us being relegated even this season with a roster full of seniors. I should probably go and check that before we enter these final 2 games. So if we lose both of them, 6-10 is probably not enough to be outside of the bottom 4. And for that matter, even 7-9 may not be enough. So we got a couple things to do here. Oliver Brown is going to Maryland, and Ben Joyner is going to Villanova. Now, that was the high school power forward. Ben Joyner, not sure on that one, but we just lost 2 more guys. This has not turned out to be a good year. Let's evaluate these 2 now and offer a scholarship up. So we've got good scoring, defense, not good GPA, good passing, but he will turn it over himself a bit. Not a great shot pretty much anywhere. Here we have similarly good scoring and defense. Decent passer. Ball handling is going to get him in trouble less often. And he does have a good outside shot. And he will steal the ball a bit. I'm thinking Zimmerman's our guy. Let's kind of look head to head. We got +1. Now it's +2 this way. +3. It's +4 to Zimmerman. And +5 if you count the academic side as well. And I certainly do. So Zimmerman, scholarship offer. Alright, so we've picked out a shooting guard. We've already got our point. We're on to small forward. 4 guys on the list. Jones and Porter are the only Bs. Ooh, there's a good defender in Porter. Ooh, I like that. I'm always up for an individual defender who's going to do a good job. He does want to play close to home, which would be Kansas. Not going to be the easiest recruit, but I can tell you already, that's somebody I like. Okay, so power forward just got nasty. Ooh, Williams is working. We're number 7 on his list. That's one of the guys who's been there for a while. Okay, there you go. Oliver Brown, Maryland. That was the one we just lost. Barnes does still like us. Does have the offered scholarship, so I may not jump in on anyone else besides him. He does already have us number 1 on his list. Right now I have no idea who the other player was that signed on with someone else. Must have been a center. Okay, there's only 3 guys that are even a B. And only one that's a decent defender. on that entire list. And how he compares to Barnes, well, he's a slightly better defender and rebounder. But that's about it. 4.0 GPA. Let's get more info on him, at least. Okay. Academics. Somebody we can recruit. We'll watch film on him and watch some more on Barnes. Here's Joyner. Number 98 overall. It's definitely the top center around. And we just lost him to Villanova. Now we're above Villanova now, I believe. In conference, but not in prestige. I wasn't even on his top 10 anyway. He was a late addition, so just unfortunate. Another guy lost. None of these are top defenders, are they? They're all C's on defense. They're all B's on scoring. One decent ball handler. And he does have some outside range. And he's the best rebounder. Terrible athlete, but lowest SAT score though. Oh, come on. It's February 19th and I just lost all that time. Well, I'm going to do some work off camera, I guess, to get back here. We just lost 19 days of progress in game with that one. And I'll see you back next time. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Can we survive this season? Can we survive next season? Depending on how the recruiting goes. Bye for now.